Now that we are talking about oil politics, the place of oil in geopolitics, I wish to represent the opinion of people on social media.
Yes.
Maybe more of people within my generation. There is this anger within us, as well as lack of information also within us. People say that how has the oil benefited me as a 25-year-old Nigerian?
Yes.
You know, because of that, is it not better we allow America to step in and take over our oil?
Good.
What do you say, so?
Good. I have seen many reactions in this regard. In fact, not just our generation. I've seen a 60-year-old man, a 72-year-old journalist that, in fact, he was a practicing journalist, but he's no longer in the active practice. I was having a discussion with him, live discussion with him. So he was asking me, since 1958, oil was discovered in Onuegbu in Bayelsa State. The exploration of oil and the oil wealth that have come in the 1980s and 1990s up to now, how has the oil resources benefited the common man in the street in Nigeria? And it has been a largesse that was shared by the elites. So, if we could not benefit anything, why are we standing on the way of America coming to take the oil? Because it's as good as it's still the way it is. So, and I am saying, irrespective of the government has been a corrupt one, irrespective of the government development has been a lopsided one, irrespective of the government has not managed the oil resources, equitably and effectively to justify economic progress of Nigeria, it's still not enough to qualify an external power, to rape the sovereignty of a nation, to take what belongs to a nation. That is a violation of international law. But on a second note, I want to tell you something. There is a situation, a sovereignty of a nation can be disrespected, can be stayed apart for an intervention to take place. That is what we call the doctrine of humanitarian intervention. There is what we call the R2P, responsibility to protect. When a situation in a country has graduated to R2P, then the international community, under the auspices of the United Nations or the auspices of a major world power, can decide to intervene, irrespective of how sovereign that nation is, because the human fundamental rights and the lives of people are at jeopardy. In situations like this, it can warrant a powerful country being accorded a legitimacy, what we call the hegemon, to come in to intervene, to save the property and lives of people at the detriment of the government of their own. For instance, the case in Sudan, when the Sudanese government deliberately formed a militia to fight the people, and the Sudanese war that crept on from 2005 to 2011, the government developed a militia, Omar Bashir government developed a militia to fight the people. Just that the people demanded that things should be done better. And the international community witnessed this. In fact, it became a genocide. About hundreds of thousands of people were shot by soldiers. Soldiers were commanded to shoot demonstrators, Protestants, armless Protestants. And it went on days, months. And the United Nations said, no, we cannot fold arms again to respect the sovereignty of Sudan. The United Nations has to intervene. America has to come in to disengage, the Janjaweed militia. And it was on that context that peace talks were arranged after the disengagement of the government, and the international arrest warrant was placed on Omar Bashir, the current president. That was the second sitting president in Africa that the ICC placed arrest warrant on, irrespective of how sovereign and immunity he has. So now, and it is on the Abuja, comprehensive agreement of 2011 that granted the opportunity for South Sudan to think of its independence. So that is a pure intervention. But let me tell you, yes, many people will argue that the level of banditry and insecurity and the religious killing that is going on in Nigeria has graduated to R2P level. That if intervention takes place, that it is justified. But this is a matter of international law. we can still say that there is no war in Nigeria. We are not at war. Yes, we can say we have infractions of insecurity, militias fighting the government and fighting the people, even though people are claiming that the government is sponsoring Boko Haram, but there is no credible evidence to show that it's not in official circles. Government has not come out publicly to admit that they are financing Boko Haram. Rather, government is mobilizing the army to fight the Boko Haram, whether it is lukewarm or not. So we will say, yes, a militia and a SWAP, international, terrorist organization, is also fighting the Nigerian government, because they have made it to claim that they are fighting the Nigerian government. They kill police, they kill the army, they destroy churches, they destroy mosques. You see where the problem is. So we cannot say we are at war. We would rather say that we as a people, as a government, is fighting, Boko Haram. So rather we can say that yes, the international community can say yes, the government is making responses to address the problem, but they have not found the Nigerian government being complicit of the problem itself. If the Nigerian government has been found being complicit of the problem, being a major sponsor, even though they may have the intelligence, but it's not yet official. So there is no way we can say it has graduated to R2P. So the situation in Nigeria has not warranted, an external power to come into Nigeria to make or rather to even pressure Nigeria to establish a military base. So in as much as yes, the oil has not been shared equitably, but who are the beneficiaries of this oil? Nigerians. Few Nigerians. So the problem is that the problem is systemic. The corruption is systemic. So the system itself created the problem. If we say now, yes, there is war in Nigeria, war is going on in Nigeria, like the Biafran Nigerian war. When people were dying and people know that there was an escalation of war, Nigerian government is fighting a section of the country. Yes, intervention can take place. France intervened in that war. International organization, relief organization came in. Even America wanted to, but on the side of Britain, because they are allied with Britain, America decided to be neutral. Britain intervened. Britain didn't intervene on the part of Biafra, rather it intervened on the part of Nigeria. It supplied arms to Nigeria, provided logistics and material, advice, logistics and advice. Britain provided experts, military experts that guided the Nigerian military on how to shoot, area shooting, bombardments. Most of the pilots that bombarded military territories in Biafra were the British pilots. So you could see the level of intervention. So that is to say that Nigeria's, situation being a matter of America coming in, you understand, bringing soldiers or maybe intervening in Nigeria, maybe to secure oil. If it has not been the benefit of Nigerians for all the while, why should we cry foul now? We have to cry foul, because if we don't cry foul, we have shown that we don't have a sense of a nation. Yes, the country is bad. Yes, some sections of the country are marginalized, they are crying. But we have no other hope than here.
You made mention of the existing system.
Yes.
And when you look at what is happening in the AES, the Niger, the Mali, the Burkina Faso, there is a rejection of the existing system and rather a rebuilding of what the military government believes is in favor of the people. So before I let you go, just to wrap up the show, talk to me about the situation, consider the prospects and the challenges in the AES countries.
Yeah, it's a topsy-turvy thing over there. I think the masses are behind those governments. Because one thing, before a government works effectively, there should be legitimacy. And what is legitimacy? Legitimacy comes from the people. Legitimacy popularizes, legalizes a government. If a government is not legitimate, that means it is not supported by the people. So those regimes, those military regimes in Mali, in Burkina Faso, irrespective that they are military, there was no election, they came through coup, but they have the backing of the people. So I want to correct an impression here. Legitimate government is not always a democratic government. Government must not be democratic. Government must not be elected or to come through election before it becomes legitimate. An illegitimate government can be and still produced by election. A military government can be legitimate. Legitimacy is different from being democratic. Tinubu came through power through elections. But what is happening today? 80% of Nigerians don't support him. Let me tell you the truth. Whatever government is doing today and everybody is we are just accepting something that is illusion as a reality. A common man on the street knows that the man didn't win the election. So that's why the Tinubu's government is suffering from legitimacy. Irrespective that we call it a democratic government, it is elected, a result was announced by competent electoral body, and the members of the National Assembly were elected. He was announced and was returned and was given certificate of return, and the election was conducted, and money was spent, billions of naira was spent in the election. It justifies that an exit of government of Buhari came and another government, it was a periodic election. So that only is the definition of what people call democracy. But in real essence, is the democratic government legitimized. But today, go to Burkina Faso, go to Mali, even if it's a military junta, they came in by force by displacing the government that is there. But the masses on the streets are rejoicing, backing them. It is legitimate. So the government can be democratic and legitimate, and as well can be, military and legitimate. It is not only election that justifies legitimacy. In some certain situations, elections can come and produce a government, yet the government is not legitimate. So that is to say that the successes of those governments in Mali and Burkina Faso in the Sahel region depends on the support, popular base and support the masses are giving to them. And that's why they are still standing till today. France is a big power. But why was this government able to dispense France out of the country and still stand? Because it enjoys local support, popular support. And that's why the government has become a nationalistic one. A government that drives the national aspiration of the people. What are they condemning? They are condemning imperialism. They are condemning age-long France exploitation of their country. They are condemning using CFA, the franc zone, as a medium of exchange. They are deciding to adopt their own indigenous currency. They are condemning the idea that 80% of their foreign reserves are kept in Paris and managed by French government and not even them. They should write, and until the French parliament approve a percentage of what they should take, that what belongs to them. That is the highest height of new imperialism. And this is what these governments are fighting. And that's why they are sending French ambassadors in their countries back to their home. French expatriates and consultants in those countries were asked to leave. Why are they surviving? Irrespective of the aid ban that France made, that France cannot give aid to those countries again and all sorts of that. Yes, the country would have suffered a little bit, but there is, in international politics, there is no place for friends and enemy. What matters is interest.